Hey, ladies. Hello. Welcome to Black Women Making Money. We're the home of the upwardly mobile Black woman. Hope everybody is doing well today. We're going to put our 90-second clock on, come back. Today's great conversation is going to be about the fact that monotony makes you money. I was on with Victoria, the credit solutionist, last night. We had this as a conversation, and I want to talk with you because this is such an important conversation for all my ladies who are making money, whether you are doing a business, and happy Small Business Saturday, or whether you have a career. So I'm going to put the 90-second clock on, give people a chance to come in, and then we're going to have a great conversation with regards to this. Here we go. Welcome to Black Women Making Money. We are the home of the upwardly mobile Black woman. For exclusive content and invitations to our Inner Circle Zoom meetings, which happen on a monthly basis, you can sign up for free for our email newsletter at bwmakingmoney.com. That's bwmakingmoney.com. Hey, ladies. Hello, Torian Dreams. Happy Small Business Saturday to all of my ladies here at Black Women Making Money. Of course, we're the home of the upwardly mobile Black woman. Our goal is to get to $130,000 plus, even though that number is like a couple of years old. I might have to update it, but we want to be in the upper middle class. And you can do that through a career, or you could do that through business. And today is Small Business Saturday. However, a lot of the lessons, a lot of the things I'm talking about is going to work for you in your professional career as well. So ladies, don't forget to hit the like button for your girl. Hit the like button. So that way YouTube can know that you like what we're doing over here. If you're listening to the replay, please put replay in the comments, or better yet, let me know what you think about the topic. So last night, Friday night. So first of all, I get up at like 4 a.m. So for me to be up and awake and like listening actively to somebody's podcast or live stream late at night is like a thing for me, because I'm usually by like 8:00, 8:30, I'm like, I'll listen to people's podcasts, but I'm not like actively listening. But Victoria was on last night from the credit solutionist, and she was talking about fear and how do you push past the fear and things like that. And she dropped her link. So, of course, I went up. And one of the things that Victoria has been talking about lately over at the Credit Solutionist, first of all, she's not only helping people with credit, but she's also helping people with debt reduction and the mental stress that comes from debt reduction. And she's been talking a lot about people making more money in order to get rid of their debt. And she has launched her small business course as well. So she made the comment that everyone should have a business, and I asked her about that. I said, "Do you think everyone should have a business?" And of course, we talked about it, and she said, "No, I don't think everyone should have a business." And we talked about the fact that I had mentioned this that a lot of people are not successful in business because they cannot deal with the monotony of business. But the truth is, if you want to make two, three, four, $500,000 in your business, it's like, you're not trying to build Facebook or anything like that. You just got like Torian Dreams may have a CPA firm, or I'm a mortgage loan officer, or some of you have Etsy shops or Amazon shops, or you've got your candle business or things like that. Most people fail in business because they cannot deal with the monotony that makes you money. The true businesses that are helping the owner make two, three, four, $500,000 a year, it is because that person, that business owner, is doing the same thing over and over and over again. And other people have what I call roller coaster revenue. Roller coaster revenue is they're up for 6 months, then they're down, then they're up, then they're down, then they're up, then they're down. The reason roller coaster revenue happens is because a lot of people start doing what's working and then stop. They start doing what's working and then they stop. And the reason why they stop is because it is monotonous. It's doing the same thing day in, day out, the same thing. It's boring, yet boring makes you mega money. There are very, very few people on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok making good money. And even the people you think who are making good money, you got to look at them with a side eye. There's the woman, short black woman with the super tall white husband, and it leaked that their fairy tale marriage and all of that isn't what it's all cracked up to be. So these people who are online trying to pretend like they're going to Dubai, they're going to Europe, they're going to Panama, things like that. You got to look at these people with a side eye. The truth is, the Main Street businesses, the monotonous businesses, being a notary, being a loan officer, being a debt coach, things like that, those are the things that make us serious money. If we're willing to do the same things over and over and over again for 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. And hey, Lenny, good to see you. It's been a while. Yeah. So it's been a while since I've been here too. So look, yeah, that was something else. I will admit that with regard to, I think her name was Queen, the short black woman and the super tall white man. I watched like 10 minutes of I don't know, somebody's video that was talking about that. And I was just like, I'm not surprised. I don't believe anybody on social media. I just don't, unless I've been watching them for 2 years plus, like really watching them. And I get a real sense for people with regards to how many people are telling us garbage, right? We're going back to monotony, right? One of the things I said last night during our conversation, Victoria and I said, let's take Dave Ramsey, for example. And hey, Still Rocks, good to see you. I think you were on last night with Victoria as well. So you're going to hear a repeat of what I said on Victoria's channel. But let's take Dave Ramsey, for example. Put a 1 in the chat if you all know who Dave Ramsey is and you've consumed his content. Put a one in the chat if you know who Dave Ramsey is and you've consumed his content. So Dave Ramsey is, the financial guy, right? He wrote a lot of books about total money makeover and getting our finances together. And he's been talking about money and debt and getting out of debt and the baby steps and all of that for 30 plus years. Y'all are putting ones in the chat, ones in the chat. Hey, Brian Stack. Yes, happy Small Business Saturday. He's been saying the same thing for 30 years. You want to talk about monotony? He's got a radio show. People call in. He's got the same advice. He's been given the same advice for 30 years. Make a decision that you're going to get out of debt. Put $1,000 to the side. That $1,000 may have increased because of inflation, but whatever it is, I'm saying the same thing. Put $1,000 aside, then take your debts and start paying them, and you're living on rice and beans, and you're not going on vacation, and you're paying everything off, including your mortgage, and then you start investing in your 401k. He's been saying the same thing for 30 years. How bored do you think Dave Ramsey is of saying the same thing for 30 years? Yet the man has a $300 million, according to Erica Williams, I hadn't checked it out, but a $300 million campus out there in Tennessee. And he's got this, that, and the third, being monotonous, saying the same thing, doing the same thing. He has, his radio show. Now he's actually really smart because now he has started investing in other people and bringing other people on his platform. And, his daughter, the Dr. John Deloney, and the beautiful Black woman. I love her natural hair, so he's smart with that. But and guess what? They're saying the same thing that he's been saying for 30 plus years, right? Yeah, the rice and that's what he's been saying to people. You get rice and beans. You might be able to have a steak once a month, right? You're not going on vacation. You're not going to Belize. You're not going to Miami. He's been saying this, but it works, right? It works. Erica Williams is another person. I know she's like, she's taking a little bit of time off YouTube, but for 6, 7, 8 years, she was doing the same thing. What? She was doing her live stream. She was coming on. She was saying the same thing. Make more money, invest. Make more money, invest. Get into tech, get into accounting, get into something that's a high skill job. Make money, invest. What do you invest in? She's showing you the different things to invest in. You think Erica's tired of saying the same thing? Yes. So what I was saying last night on the broadcast with Victoria is we get tired of our messages a lot faster than the audience does. You always have new audiences coming in. You always have new audiences coming in. But that monotony makes you money. The monotony makes you money. I'll give you another example. Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, if you say thank you, they say what? My pleasure, right? How many of those young kids in the drive-thru are tired of saying my pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure? How many of the what do you call it? The managers, general managers are tired of saying my pleasure, my pleasure. I'd like to say something else besides my pleasure. But guess what? The monotony of Chick-fil-A, they can be closed on Sunday and they still make more money than Popeyes and Burger King and McDonald's practically, right? The monotony makes us money. I'll give you another example. LL Cool J. That fine man, right? Yeah, I can still say it. That fine. LL Cool J. I was listening to an interview with LL Cool J, and y'all know LL has always been like, fit, right? And he was saying The interviewer was saying, well, how do you stay so fit? And he said, because I go to the gym and I do what the exercises and things I need to do, even when I don't want to. That's another catchphrase for monotony. It's true that the monotony makes us money because LL has kept himself up so long and he's worked on his, acting craft and things like that. The man was on a hit TV show, what, NCIS, I think it was, for however many years. He's paid, right? The monotony makes us money. So Lanique is saying, you're telling the truth. Thank you so much. Look, this is an important conversation for us as business women to have because so many businesses fail. So many of us fail because we don't want to do the monotony. His staff says the same thing as well. Yes, we were talking about Dave Ramsey. Yes, the staff says the same thing as well. In fact, he hired the staff that's going to do this, that's going to say the same thing, right? And they're going to be saying the same thing for the next 30 years. They're going to be sick and tired of telling people, you want to get out of debt, put $1,000 on the side, and then everything you make goes into paying your debts. No, you ain't going to get that new truck. No, like how many of us have seen Dave Ramsey roll his eyes when people say, I bought a new truck and the payments are $800, right? What does he say? Everybody, he says the same thing. Go bring that truck back. It's been less than 30 days. Go bring that truck back. You can't afford that. Go get you a little $3,000 car. Now, I don't know where a $3,000 car is that Dave Ramsey is talking about, but I was listening to Dave Ramsey probably about 6 months ago, and he's telling somebody the same thing. Bring the truck back to the dealership and go get you a little $3,000 car. So Rock's saying the staff follow the same principles. They just look cute and hip saying it, but it's the same advice Dave would give. Exactly. Selling those same dry chicken sandwiches with a smile every single day. And people are wrapped around the block to get the Chick-fil-A sandwiches, right? He will tell you to take it. Yes, he will. Jessica's in the building. Hello. So the other thing with our kids, or maybe it's you, the monotony of studying 2 hours a day. You may not like it when people compare Black kids to Asian kids, but the reason why Asian kids are knocking it out of the park when it comes to academics is because they study 2 hours a day, even when they don't want to, even when it's monotonous. You think that all the Asian kids, and of course, this is a stereotype, right? All the Asian kids really want to sit down for 2 hours a day. Do you think that there are times when they want to go party with their friends, especially the more Americanized they are? Yes, but they're willing to do the monotonous things, and the parents are willing to do the monotonous things, staying in their asses in order to make sure that they are academically prepared to become engineers and doctors and things like that. And they're kicking our butts financially, right? The monotonous things make us money. Flo Jersey, hello, happy Small Business Saturday to you. Dave Ramsey is stuck in the 60s, but Jessica, it's working. It's still work. That 60s monotony is still. Now, I wish that Dave Ramsey would update his dollar amounts. I think he needs to update his dollar amounts. That's why Alexander O'Neill, is that the guy's name? Anthony O'Neill, has appeal in the hip hop generation. He does need to update his dollar amounts, but the thought process is still the same, right? So embracing the monotony is going to be important for us as small business women. There's nobody who, if you embrace the monotony, there's nobody who cannot full-time make 200 to 500,000 a year, like coming into your own personal house. And I'm not talking about you having to have 80 employees or anything like that. You can make $500,000 a year with you and a couple of virtual assistants in the Philippines, with most businesses if you embrace the monotony. If you embrace the monotony. So, what are some of the monotonous things that we should be doing as small business women? I tell you my four things. Number one is, there are certain things within lead generation that every business should do. Now, your business may be different from my business. I'll give you some ideas of some of the monotonous things that you're going to be doing. But lead generation. The second thing is sales conversion. Sales conversion just means people actually giving me money. How do I convince somebody to give me money? How do you convince people to give you money? The more monotonous that is, the more you're saying the same thing over and over again, just like Dave Ramsey is saying the same thing, just like Erica Williams is saying the same thing, just like Chick-fil-A is saying the same thing over and over and over again for years, you're going to have to say the same thing. You're going to have to be okay with the monotony, right? The third, client fulfillment. How we actually serve our clients needs to be monotonous. Needs to be monotonous, right? Even if you're doing some sort of coaching, the structure that you have for coaching people, there will be a monotony in that. You're going to ask people the same questions. People are going to give you the same basic few answers. It's going to be monotonous, right? And then fourth is accounting. Keeping up with your accounting. The truth is, businesses that do well, my mother's a bookkeeper, trust me, I know. The businesses that do the best, and I used to work for her, so I know this as well. The businesses that always did the best, always did their accounting every single month. They always looked at their books every single month. Jessica's saying the prices are off, but yes, I agree. I use DR's methods. Yeah, the prices are off. You're right, especially after inflation. That's why I said it's not $1,000. It shouldn't be $1,000. And Dave Ramsey is probably still telling people $1,000. It's not $1,000 anymore. I think that there are other people who are saying 6 months of living expenses. That may be too much as well, but having $3,000 for most people is enough where if you blow a tire, as long as you have stable employment, right? If you blow a tire, if something happens, $3,000 probably should be enough for you to be able to cover any kind of emergencies that you have, and then everything else starts going into debt repayment. And you're saying LOL and sharing this out. Thank you so much. Everybody, make sure you have liked the video as well. Okay, so let's talk about some of the monotonous things that we should be doing or could be doing in our small businesses. These are just some ideas. Some of you need to be on social media live streaming a certain number of times a week. So my personal business right now, my lending business is so busy and there's just so much happening that I can't come on like every Monday at 7:30 like I would like to, or 7 o'clock like I would like to. But I do think that there is something to people who have a schedule when it comes to your live streams. Like if you're on every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m. and people know they could find you every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m., there's something to that really does work. That really does work. The monotony of knowing you're going to come on, you're going to say a lot of the same stuff, and guess what? Your audience isn't going to get tired of it. Now, you'll add in like different stories to prove your points and things like that. That's where you shake things up. But your messaging is still going to be the same, right? Some of you need to be in people's DMs. That's right. Direct messaging people who can actually give you contracts, who can actually put you on their podcast, who can actually like make things happen for you. That monotony of DMing 30 people a day. Alex Hormozy talks about this, like doing that outreach. It gets tiring. After the first few days, you're like, do I have to do this? Do I have to keep talking to people? Yes. Here's the thing. I'm a mortgage loan officer, as most of you all know. I'm a mortgage loan officer. For me to make really good money, there are about 2,000 realtors in the local DMV area that all of them should know I'm Cherie, I'm here, and I'm an expert at helping investors get money. I guarantee you, if all 2,000 of them knew who I was, I'd probably be at seven figures personally, right? So, but for me to make that happen is for me to actually DM them, call them, talk to them. Monotony with regards to saying the same thing over and over again. Jessica, I know that Jessica is in HR. She does a lot of recruiting stuff, etc. Her being able to say the same thing, there's probably about 100, 200 people who, if all of those people knew who Jessica was and they started talking about Jessica and what she did, that would change her entire business. But actually spreading the word to those 200 people, that is monotonous. And you got to say it more than one time. You got to say it over and over and over again. But if she did that, she'd be at $500,000 a year, right? Some of you need to be doing podcast interviews. Erica talked about this as well. You know, the monotony of reaching out to podcasts, pitching them, talking to them, getting on their podcast, getting on their live streams, talking to their audiences. Let's take Rich AF. I don't have the book here with me. Rich AF. We've been studying Rich AF by Vivian too, right? Vivian did a book tour for her Rich AF book. And I watched about 4 or 5 of the podcasts that she did. And guess what she did? She said the same stories over and over and over again. You think Vivian too thought that it was monotonous? It was the same thing over and over again for her to tell those same stories? Yes. However, the monotony is making her money, saying the same thing over and over and over again. This Zoom, that Zoom, going to the Today Show, going here, going there. That she's about to make $20 million a year doing this. Now, of course, that 20 million isn't all going into her pocket, but you get what I'm saying. But how many people did she and her team have to pitch in order to get there, right? Weekly email newsletters. I will tell you personally, I know I don't do it as much for Black women making money, but for my lending business, every Wednesday we send out an email newsletter. And every Wednesday when we send out that email newsletter, the phone rings, I get an email from people, I get a text message from people. Cherie, I'm trying to buy this. Cherie, I'm trying to do this. Cherie, can you help me with that? Cherie, can you tell me what the rates are, etc. Part of the reason why I am successful is because every single week I send out that weekly email newsletter. But guess what? That's monotonous. You know why? Because, we put different content in there. We put like success stories of people we help close their loans. But guess what? It's monotonous with regards to the structure of that email and saying the same thing over again. We had this success story. This loan program is out. I answer the same question with regards to loan programs 3, 4, 5 times a day. And it works. And I'm probably going to be answering the same questions for people for the next 5 to 10 years. But guess what? My goal is to make $300,000 a year to be able to pay off all of my debt, including my house and my student loans, to have enough money coming in that I'm making $10,000 a month cash flow. And then I'm going to be chilling, right? But I have to embrace the monotony of having to say the same thing to people over and over and over and over again. Okay? What else? Monotony. Following up with your prospects, those follow-up phone calls and text messages. It may seem monotonous. However, because of my follow-up with people, I've gotten deals. I've had people say, yeah, I'm still looking for a house. When I find one, I'll let you know. I'm following up with them 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months later. Boom, they find something. I get the deal, right? Um, and I already said accounting. So, uh, in order for us to be successful, in order for us to make 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 a year, monotony is going to be a part of your experience as a small business owner. And I'll leave you with this, and then I'll look at the rest of your comments and put a one in the chat if you want to come up. I'll drop the link if you put a one in the chat. If not, then I will head out. But I do want to say this one final thing. There's a guy who taught me this acronym called SWET. SWET is SWET. SWET means same way every time. I'll put this here on the screen for you. SWET, same way every time. He is a coach that I work with regards to my loan practice, right? He's like, look, Cherie, you need to set up your business to sweat. And sweat means same way every time. How we answer the phones, the responses that we give to people. When people say, is that the best you could do with regards to your loan terms, the responses we give, right? The email newsletters that we do every week, the way we close our books, everything needs to be the same way every time. Business should be nice and boring. The most exciting thing for you in business should be cashing your check. Because the more your business changes, the less likely you are to make money. I'm not talking about massive shifts like AI, for example, is coming, and we are embracing artificial intelligence. However, we're embracing artificial intelligence by answering the questions or teaching AI the way that we answer the questions on the phone, right? So, same way every time. I can't say this enough. Think about sweat in your business because it works. Still Rocks is saying, in my main job, I have great initial interviews with clients. I struggle with the follow-up process. I know that is leaving money on the table. Managing calendars and all that is so important, but boring. This is very true. So I'll tell you what we do within our company, and what I do is, as I'm talking with a person, let's say they're a prospect, but they have not found a house yet, etc. I contact them every other week. Every other week. So I basically I have a CRM system, and I put an activity in. Let's say, I talked to them today. I will put an activity for 2 Saturdays from now to give them a call back. 2 Saturdays from now to give them a call back. And that works for me. And then as I talk to them or I leave a message 2 Saturdays from now, I'll put another activity in my CRM to call or text them 2 Saturdays after that. So that works for me. You will have to find your own cadence based on your business, but you're probably leaving 50% of your revenues on the table because you're not following up with people. Jessica saying, ooh, calling me out. Love it. I needed this message. Thank you. You are welcome. You are welcome. This is so important for us as businesswomen, right? Tori and Dreams saying, Cherie, all these great ideas. I need to get on it. Yes. Yes. Coming up, a lot of people will call this systems, right? Business systems that you're putting in place. But all it is sweat, doing it the same way every time, right? That's what systems are, right? And it's monotony at the end of the day. How can I make this business so monotonous that It's a cash cow and a cash machine. And then when you're like, I want to have fun, I want to turn it up, you have the money and the resources and the people in your business in place where you can go to Belize and turn it up, and the cash register at home is still ringing. That's where you want to be. But part of it is embracing the monotony, right? So, which CRM am I using? I use Pipedrive, Pipedrive, and I will actually show it on my screen here so you all can see it. Let's see, share my screen. This is what I use. I use Pipedrive, and I like Pipedrive. So, Salesforce is the largest CRM that's out there. I found that Salesforce was it was too much. It was too cumbersome, and I couldn't figure it out. The second largest is HubSpot. When I looked at HubSpot, it was like either free or it was like $700 a month. I'm like, I can't afford that. I wouldn't put that my business through that. Pipedrive is the third largest CRM. I really like Pipedrive. It's big enough where they have a lot of third-party integrations, but if you need assistance, they're able to assist you. And there's um, a lot of what do you call it? Freelancers that know about Pipedrive. So they can help you set up your automations. You can set up, like, if you tag somebody, you could set up like an email automation to go like for that person to receive because they were tagged a certain way. Like I said, they have a lot of third party integrations, things like that. So I'm a huge, huge, huge Pipedrive fan. One of the other guys in um, it's a sister company of ours, use something called Todoist. And I'll show you this one as well. He swears by Todoist. Because I already had Pipedrive, I didn't need Todoist, but he's like, look, if you're trying to organize your business and your life and things like that, he swears by Todoist. So those are a couple of options for you, but I am a big fan of Pipedrive. So Still Rocks is saying so many clients will give you business just by keeping in contact. I've had clients say, you were the only one that followed up with me. I am going to make a commitment going forward. You have to. You are missing out on so much business if you do not stay in touch with people. And I know, Cherie, I know that I am losing business because I'm not keeping in touch with people. In fact, I just got an email from somebody who had filled in an application with me several months ago. She just bought a house for 600 something thousand dollars. And guess what? She didn't use me because I wasn't keeping up with her enough, right? So, look, I mean, even I need to step up my game. So, you are welcome, Jessica. Salesforce is a lot. Yeah, I feel like Salesforce is a lot. I don't care for Salesforce. So, um, yes, thank you for all you do. You are welcome. You are welcome. So, look, that is Small Business Saturday for today. You all know we can come in here, get a quick lesson, and head out. I do want to just encourage you to embrace the monotony because the monotony is going to make you money. Doing the same thing over and over and over and over again in your business is going to put you in the upper middle class. It's going to do it. So, you hated HubSpot. I didn't like HubSpot either. I found it difficult. I found it pricey. And when I got the free and I was just kind of working in it, I found it difficult. That I really do like Pipedrive. I would encourage you to take a look at it. It's crazy. Some customers like the contact, but some don't. But it makes sense to use the STEM model. Thank you for that. Yeah, same way every time. The sweat, SWET, the sweat method. Same way every time. But yeah, even clients who say they don't like the contact, I still will text them every once in a while. Um, and I will still do like little things to stay in touch with them. Instead of touching base with them once every other week, I might do it once every 6 weeks, just like a little, dropping. Or if the clients say that they don't, that they're annoyed, then it may be your message or they just don't want to do business with you. So, you kind of have to get the vibe for that and figure out, is it me? Is it my message? Or is it just that I for example have clients who work in like highly secure areas, and they either can't take their phones in the office with them, or they have to be very careful at work. So those clients I will text during the daytime more than call, like, hey, just checking in with you. I know you're at work, you're super busy, etc., but just want to see how things are going with the house search, blah blah blah. And that seems to work. So you got to kind of feel your clients out. So yes, sweat. All right, ladies, thank you so much for being here. I am going to try to come tomorrow night as well, have a conversation with you. But happy Small Business Saturday, and I will see you on the next video. Take care. Bye bye.